probably mid to late 70s. Let me back up. I grew up here in the Clements community, attended Clement High School. Once I finished high school, you know, I still wanted to pursue being a musician, but honestly had no clue. I mean, I knew that by this time, I knew that there was recording going on in Muscle Shoals, Alabama, and I was a fan of that. And so I was trying to figure out some way, how do I progress as a musician? And this was 1970, so Vietnam was still pretty present. And my thought was, I will join the Army band and thereby avoid going to Vietnam, hopefully. So I joined the Army band, and through my 3 years of Army band, I met so many different musicians from every walk of life, not just country players or not just rock players, a lot of jazz players from like I say, every ethnicity, and so I was exposed to a vast direct result of having done the demo sessions in Muscle Shoals, because those songs were getting played in Nashville, and I didn't know it, but I find out years later from the writers that a lot of the producers in town in '84 were going, where are these demos being cut? Because they sound better than the records that were being cut in Nashville by certain producers. And so this is one of those instances where I had played on some demos, and Harold Shedd, who was the producer of Alabama, was hearing some of those things. So he calls me to be part of a new album that Alabama is doing for RCA, and it had some great songs on it, and they had several hits off of it. Thank the Lord that it did. If it had bombed, yeah, I probably wouldn't be talking to you today. But anyway, this record came out. It was, as far as I know, it was the very first country record to ever be shipped platinum, which is 1 million sales. So the first day it came out, it was platinum. And this is the title cut, if we got it. And this was, we recorded this sometime late in '83. It came out early '84.
Hey, I got you, Alabama. Roll on. Roll on, highway, roll on.
80s. He was basically a demo singer, you know, like we said, going around singing tracks for people. And we met him at a demo session for an old friend of ours, Stephanie Brown from the Shoals. I'd known Stephanie from my Fame days in Muscle Shoals. And she booked us on this demo session. This guy comes in wearing a cowboy hat, and he's a good singer, you know, and we hit it off. He's just a country boy like Mike and I, you know, so we pretty much hit it off with him. And a few years, you know, maybe, I guess it was probably late '88, sometime in 1988, Garth gets a record deal, and he for whatever reason, I mean, it's a long story, but Mike and I both wind up doing these sessions with him. And they were with a producer I'd worked with, Alan Reynolds, who produced Don Williams, Kathy Mattea, Hal Ketchum, many other artists. And we were asked to do this session, and we show up, and the first day we cut maybe 3 or 4 songs. And the very first song was Much Too Old to Feel This Damn Young. And I remember we were cutting it, and Garth, we go back to listen to a playback, and Garth says, and he knew we'd all been doing Kathy Mattea's records, and he goes, guys, I love it, but he said, you know, I am not the male Kathy Mattea. And the moment he said that, I knew exactly what he meant. So we went out and recut it again, and it was like, that's what I want, you know. And basically, that's been the same band since 1988. And we're in the process of doing a new record, which will be out later this year, along with a Christmas record that we've done with he and Tricia Yearwood that'll be out this fall. And it's good. It's got Mike Chapman all over it, so be looking for that. As most of you may know, Mike passed away about 6 weeks ago. And so we're anxious to preserve any of that. Somehow they gave us the moniker of the G-Men, which is basically Garth's studio band. It's been pretty much the same guys. It's unheard of. No artist that I know of has ever used the same group of musicians over and over and over and had the kind of success that he's had. It's mind-numbing, honestly, to me. Recently, they put the G-Men into the Musicians Hall of Fame in Nashville, which is, to me, is a true highlight and a cap to a wonderful ride. But anyway, this song, Rodeo, is from No Fences, I think, which has been the second record we did with Garth. And when we were doing this thing, I told Garth, I said, man, I don't understand rodeo. You know, I'm a country boy. I know about cotton picking and stuff like that, but I don't know all these lie-to-go and all. So I was asking, what is all this terminology? And he started explaining it, and I started relating, okay, riding a bronc or whatever it is kind of like playing drums. You know, it's like you can screw up and fall off, or you can just go for it, you know. So my idea behind this song was thinking about the danger of rodeoing, if you will, and equating it with how do I relate that with drums. So I think this is it. Play rodeo a little bit.